Hi there, and welcome to another Cigar Advisors cigar review brought to you in living color. I'm Gary Korb, that guy you warned your daughter to stay away from, and she actually listened to you. Today we're going to be smoking the Punch Gran Puro Nicaragua 4 7/8 by 48, which is a great name for a cigar. This is a Robusto.
That just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
I know. That's the new thing.
7/8 by 6 and 3.
You see, they ran out of names for cigars, so they just decided, okay, we'll just name it after its size. Anyway, no, it's a Robusto.
That's my porn name, by the way, too.
4 7/8 by 48.
4 7/8 by 48. It's closer to a Robusto. Anyway, this is made at the Hatza factory in Honduras. It's got a 100% Nicaraguan filler and binder, which makes it a puro that way, but it's got a Connecticut-grown broadleaf wrapper.
Which makes it not a puro that
Yeah,
Which
we
makes
were
it
all
not a
wondering
puro.
why'd they call it a puro?
It's an extension of the line is why
I don't know, but
they
it,
called it.
This was the subject of much discussion and consternation within the office the other day.
Yes, I was
And
there.
it was very heated. Well, people watching were not. And it got very heated.
Yeah, we were
And it
throwing
was,
stuff at each other.
Yeah, there were obscenities
I
lobbed.
got a scarf.
Why is this called a puro if it's not a puro?
well,
And it sharply divided us.
Sharply.
But I can say at least we've made amends to the point where we're ready to review.
Hey,
So
man, Gary threw a can of
has to do
tab
with
at my head.
It's
real
a
cool.
line
The wounds
extension.
have healed.
So
It's a line extension.
We've settled with it's a line extension.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be literally a puro, but anyway. And we're going to find out how good it is,
It's
though,
a lot
aren't
of
we?
name.
And joining us today are the usual suspects. We asked and he answered, but only his hairdresser knows for sure. Say hello to Mr. Fred Lunt.
Very good.
Please welcome former conspiracy theorist and pitchman for WikiLeaks, the one and only Tommy
That's very
Z-Man.
good. Nice.
Sporting the medal today, people. Sporting the metal.
He spends his spare time as a demonstrator for Tesla driverless cars. Just released from St. Luke's Hospital, Mr. John Pulo.
Mr. John
Thank you.
Pulo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody give me
All right. So, what we have here, as I just described,
Yes.
it is a Punch Gran Puro Nicaragua. It's a new line. It has a really neat kind of color band, kind of this neon or pastel green and blue, kind of distinguishes it from the
Can't
rest of
lose
the
this
line.
cigar.
That's true.
Straight from the Crayola factory.
Yeah, right down the street. It's got this
my punch
Nicaraguan, probably a lot of Ligero in it.
Oh, yeah.
Nicaraguan, and a binder, and the Connecticut broadleaf Maduro, which a lot of brands that are made for and by General Cigar feature, and they actually have one of the best Connecticut broadleafs. I think we could agree that their Connecticut broadleaf is one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
So anyhow, I'm going to start with Fred. What are your impressions so far, Fred?
Yes. So this is actually a very sweet cigar. The broadleaf brings a lot of flavor to it, especially in the little size, the Corona size. It's a very heavy cigar. It's pretty full. It's a little too early for this, in my opinion, but it's really good. It's really fruity. It's really sweet. It's got some peppery spice to it. The first one that I smoked had that, like, it tingled all the way on my throat, my lips, my tongue. It was just there the whole time.
What kind of video are we doing? Go ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
tell me, what kind of video are you doing?
I don't know. Sweet,
I'm reviewing
fruity,
cigars. You're talking about
lingering in the
corn
throat.
names.
Tell us about your prison name, Tom.
The shank.
Tell me about the first night.
The Polish shank.
All right, so when you say a little early, you say early in the day?
Early in the day.
I was going to touch on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you peg this as a pretty full cigar.
It's a pretty full cigar. I would say a bit more in your stomach than some eggs for it to have this.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
How about flavor up front? Did you get anything off the cold draw?
Yeah, I got a little bit of like some cedar, a little sweetness to it, like a grassy sort of hay, a little bit of like a leather note to it. That was more on the pre-note, and then at the start it was not overly peppery, but there was some definite like more sweetness and a fruitiness to it, and that's definitely kind of making me more upfront with the fruitiness, a little bit more like dark cherry, kind of. Yeah,
There it is.
Some
There it is. No, I'm serious. They know I always talk about that, but you know.
Well, Tom, what about it?
leads me right in there. That is the overwhelming note, I think, to this cigar is a very dark cherry. Like that sweetness is there, but there's also, I think, a charred type of charred wood flavor to this. which I like that a lot. This is a very full-bodied cigar. This is very... Is it strong? Yeah, I think it's on the strong side if you're going to say strong, but full-bodied. The flavors are extremely pronounced and intense in this cigar. When I say a full-bodied with intense flavors, I think of like a Liga Privada number 9. That's a full-bodied cigar that's intense all the way through. This is that type of a smoke. So if you like that, I think you're going to like this a lot. There is that sweetness, though. He talked about the cherry. And you know what? As it even went down, as I got through it more, I started getting like even floral notes. And I'm like, this is a complex little smoke.
So I'm glad you guys brought up some of these notes, especially on the floral part, because as this thing matures and you get further along into the smoke, and you got to take it slow. Fortunately, it helps you. The broadleaf is a slow burner, not terribly oily, but still pretty nice. Full flavors. I found this to be more medium.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's just me. But I don't know. More.
What is this?
Maybe I just took it. If you take it just right and just slow, it doesn't overpower you. But these guys are talking about spice and a little bit of pepper. And Gary, you and I talked about this before.
Yep.
So it's the kind of thing that it's if you're eating something that's spicy and peppery, and you find yourself licking your lips because it's just got like a nice big shot of spice. Like think chicken wings, but not that vinegary kind of taste that's in wing sauce. But you know how if you really eat really spicy wings and you find yourself licking your lips afterwards, it's that same kind of sensation.
Yep.
And it comes and goes. So Tommy had said complex. So it's not a spice bomb all throughout. It's a little bit at the start, goes away for a little while, and some of those fruit notes that you were talking about, especially more dried, like, very, my palate's not great at picking some of these things up, but it just reminds me of like dried fruit.
Very
like
much.
a raisin, kind of?
Like a raisin or something like that. Yeah,
I
that'd be
could
a good
agree
one.
to that, yeah.
Some leather components, especially in the aroma.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And then about halfway through, I found that the spice came back, which is a nice touch because it kind of comes and goes and comes and goes. And I just found nice bite, full flavor, and like Fred said, probably a better for an afternoon cigar because a good couple of deep puffs, and you'll find this thing really hits you in the gullet.
Yeah, well, I'm finding that when I smoke this cigar, and I guess it has to do with cigars of this length, the smoke, and this has a lot of nice creamy smoke to it. It really gets right up into my nose. I dare anybody to retrohale this cigar.
I did.
It was
great.
And how was it?
Very flavorful.
It wasn't peppery?
It was not terribly peppery.
Because the smoke itself, as it's going up in there, it's like,
No,
woo!
no. I mean, I accidentally, when I was trying to test the aromas, I got a little eye opener, but no, when I was doing the retrohale, it wasn't overpowering at all, and I actually got a lot more fruity notes and a lot more woody and cedary notes. And I think I got a little bit of, tiny bit of vanilla, but it was a lot of fruity, cedary notes.
Not harsh.
No, not at all.
Which was nice.
I'm just
it was
getting a
great
lot of
retrohale.
pepper and spice, and I'm getting that, some of that cedar and that sweetness from the broadleaf.
There's
which
a
makes
lot.
it nice.
There's a lot going on in
This
here,
is not.
isn't it?
What time is it now, Tom?
10:30.
Check that big watch. What time is it?
10:30.
10:30. So I don't know if this is a 10:30 cigar. We've talked about other cigars this way too.
No, you're right.
But I'll tell you, it's if you like the Punch Gran Puro, the Honduran, you're definitely going to want to try this.
Well, this is a level
Takes it
up.
to a whole
This is a
nother-
level up in full flavorness.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Well, here's where I might tend to disagree a little bit. Is this a level up, or is this just because I think this to me is way out in left field for what you might be used to for Punch. Punch is that straight up Honduran spicy, the cigar that got its name that way, right?
Yeah.
But this just seems to have a rounder, deeper kind of sensation that this is, this is a wild pitch way outside the strike zone for these guys. This is not what you expect from Punch. Not
That's a
at
good way
all.
to put it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely.
So, because I think that's why I say I disagree with it being a level up as opposed to here is Punch and there is Punch Gran Puro Nicaragua, way the hell out there.
They've diversified their
But I
flavor.
think it does the
Boy,
brand
I'll
justice, though.
Oh,
Because it's supposed to be a
yeah.
punchy cigar.
It is. It is a
strong
nice
cigar.
direction to go in. Hey, look, if Punch ain't your favorite, give this a try.
Right.
It maybe might bring you back into the fold. Who knows?
I think, as Tommy referred to the Liga Privada, that is, that's if you're a smoker of those kind of cigars, the hardy Nicaraguans, then this is definitely a way to go.
cigars that have, like I said, more intense flavors.
Yeah, it's very
and,
intense.
And like you said, Gary's, there's a lot going on in here, right? I mean, there really is a lot going on in this little cigar. I think this would be a great after dinner. A great,
Yeah,
definitely,
I would agree.
Definitely.
with whiskey, Cuban coffee type of strong.
maybe
Go
something
for good after lunch.
In my
Even,
case, maybe something that has a little sweetness to it, like an aged dark rum or something.
Well, it's, we've talked about finish, and, finish is how it lingers. I think this has a long finish where this just...
half an hour later,
Yeah.
you're still.
when I smoked it
Yeah.
yesterday, we had the blizzard yesterday. I'm dating ourselves here if you're watching this in the future, but I sat in the garage and smoked that, and I'm telling you, like hours later, I was still just going, wow, and I was like tasting it, Not like burping up hot dogs, like
No, it's still tingling.
Yes,
it is.
very, very
Still
much
tingling
so.
in there.
It is. It's hard to get away from
Got
that
that tang.
tingly sensation. So,
It's like a York peppermint patty.
so Fred, let's talk a little bit about the construction of the cigar. What do you find so far? You got another one of your long ashes again there.
Yeah, I like to go for the long
Man,
ash.
look at you.
He's like the long
Damn,
ash
son.
master.
Yeah, I'm thinking
impressive.
about entering
Ash
some
master.
contests.
That's what I'm going to call
The
you.
Ash Master?
So, I
It's
mean,
the Ash
this,
master.
Go a couple different
obviously,
ways.
it's got a very
Ash
white.
Man.
It's got, it's like snow. Called the dwarves over here. It's got it's got a snow white kind of ash to it, which is weird because the first one that I smoked had a very dark gray ash. But the construction is pretty good on this. It's got a very sort of oily, toothy sort of vibe to the wrapper. Pretty good burn. It's holding on pretty tightly. What are you guys noticing?
Well, I noticed yours curves to the left, so I just wanted to point that out.
Wow.
No, I think construction's great. I'm getting terrific draw out of
just
this. Lots and lots of smoke. To the fact where a couple times I've been like, because it's lingering. But I think that's great in this cigar. Nice, full mouthfeel with lots of... Here is definitely creamy smoke. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice firm roll to it, so it's going to burn slow for you, which helps. So, in your pacing, you want to take your time. But I'm glad you mentioned the toothiness. That was something I had overlooked. It's got a nice toothy wrapper, nice dark broadleaf color to it. The burn line's pretty straight on.
Yeah.
Especially for being a thicker leaf. Ash is relatively compact and keeps a decent burn line, keeps a decent flavor. So, nice slow burner.
Yep.
I'd come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt that the samples I had were hard cigars, which means they were really packed.
Oh, yeah.
This is packed with a lot of tobacco. And if you've got Ligero, which is a thicker leaf, and you've got Connecticut broadleaf on the outside, which is a thicker leaf, there's a lot of heavy duty tobacco in here. You know what? We talk about cigars we like. We're smoking this because we like this, and I like it a lot. This
This would have been good yesterday in the snow.
It was
Yeah.
great. It
Would've
was
held up
great.
well
I
to the
sat
blizzard.
there. I sat there actually with some port wine, 20-year-old Taylor.
Yeah?
And some coffee and this, and it really was great as I was watching giant snowflakes pelt my driveway. Great cigar. Great when you're listening to heavy metal like Maiden, Priest.
Your metal's a little rusted though.
I don't know.
And on that note,
I don't know how to answer that.
so let's wrap it up. Fred,
What do I think?
conclusions.
Conclusions? It's a great full-bodied cigar. Have it maybe after lunch, after a dinner. Very sweet, a little spice to it, very fruity. I would say take your time with it and don't let it get bitter on you. It's a very good cigar, but treat it right.
I say an after dinner smoke. I mean, it is good now. It's very flavorful, but I'm sure I'm going to be dizzy and wobbling when I get up from the table. But you know what? Because this is going to cut through the foods you eat, especially if you eat a hearty dinner. We talk about that all the time, steaks or ribs or anything like that, barbecue. This will cut through. That flavor will be there the whole meal. It's a great, I think this just would be great for dessert.
There's a lot of interesting flavors in here that you might not expect from a punch. So I think this, like I said before, this is Punch's left field cigar. So if you like Nicaraguan, you will like this. If you've never been a fan of Punch or just for whatever reason have bypassed them in the humidor time and again, might be a reason to give you to try this and then lead your way back to some of the other Honduran offerings they have, especially the original Punch Gran Puro. Love the broadleaf, pretty hearty. I'd still say it's about between medium and full. I'm not all in with like these guys are in on full bodied, but some decent flavors. I agree with a lot of what's already been said so far, and I'd come back to it.
Okay. I'd have to agree with you on most of that. In terms of the flavors, I'm getting a lot of spice and sweet. More spice, a lot of fullness. It's strong, in my opinion.
You just burped.
No, he didn't.
You did? Sounded like you did.
No.
Because I was like, say if that's a full cigar, you're burping up a full cigar already. They're in the gullet.
I think it was the table moving.
Yeah, I think I heard a burp.
It was the dog.
It was the dog.
Yeah, the dog farted.
I'm the dog. So anyhow, if you like those strong Nicaraguans, or if you're already a fan of Punch, good after dinner cigar. I think we all agree this is a late in the day after dinner smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely get yourself this Punch Gran Puro Nicaragua. They're made in several different sizes. This is the 4 7/8 by 48, and I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us on cigaradvisor.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest,
Facebook Live.
Google
Watch our
Plus,
live show.
Google Minus. We're all over the web.
Minus.
That's all for now, so see you next time.
Big fan of the Google Minus.
Oh, yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Don't forget to register.